Attention gamers. When it comes to banning champs in League of Legends, everyone does it different. Some people ban the OP Giga Smurf booster pick in their role, others ban a counter. Certain champs get banned so that no one on your own team will pick them. New champs typically fall into this category if you are cool with sitting through 60 minutes of dodged lobbies, and then of course there's those people who ban the obscure unpopular champ who just shit on them in the last game out of pure PTSD spite. But as someone who often forgets to ban because he's half AFK watching TikTok videos of Komodo dragons swallowing goats, I'm intrigued by people's strategies, which is why I like to look at the data. Over 10 million games worth at all ranks sorted by ban rate, which reveals that the most banned champ in the game is Zed, which if you misinterpret the list like I do, you'll see his win rate is practically lower than his ban rate. So today we are going to first time Zed in some games to first show why mechanical skill and hours of practicing his combos are usually recommended, but also to see if we can find out why in almost 50% of games he's told that he's not allowed to play with everyone else, banished to sit all alone, eating his crappy peanut butter sandwich, made with the ends of the bread loaf that no one wants, while everyone else hangs out together, eating their home-cooked meals from HelloFresh. Because they took advantage of the amazing fall deals that you can get at HelloFresh.com to transform your diet and then your abs and ass into things that people want to look at and touch. HelloFresh, for those of you who don't know, is the reason why I uploaded today, but also the most convenient, cost-effective way to build better habits that make you a better-looking Zed player, no matter how embarrassing your ults are. You just select the type of meals you want to make, the number of times you want to hit the nom nom, and bam, select your meals and have convenient pre-prepped food with recipe cards ready to be cooked and enjoyed. And since I'm a sellout, if you use code POGRAFSEP50 at checkout, you'll get 50% off your first order, so check the link below and let's get into the games. Okay, so the first game started off like any other solo queue game, and it may have been due to my mid laner playing Soraka mid like she was swag trying to get a video and didn't realize this wasn't a custom full of simp viewers. But just to prove this was my first time playing Deadpool, please see my best impression of a Zed ult, which ended in spear shot stumbling away like he has a calf cramp in the middle of the night, so I have to waste flash and let him borrow one more steel frisbee in exchange for the large bounty he was already worth. The whole my team is a bunch of shit-stained situation has only been getting worse, and I'm left to try and play cleanup, knowing that some gerbil who chills with toasters in bathtubs will be basing in one of the shrubs, so I hit a totally appropriate ult to do the last fraction of a percent of his health for yet another shutdown. This leaves so many plates on the table you'd think a 5-course meal was about to be served, so I stick around knowing the waitress is a cute blonde who will make the experience even more worth my while. That said, Swag's not exactly getting good content mid, and now they feel comfortable letting the big ass beetle that they named Beat Toven off the leash, so I ask Nocturne to turn the lights out so that things can get a little intimate. He obliges before realizing that meant he would be the one getting the dick, and as I launch a game of X's and O's as I draw an X and then actually hit my abilities, which makes me go oh, leaving just sophisticated Clifford left in a 1v4, so he goes down shortly after. The blonde bot lane waitress is now in town and all my minions are trying to get a look up her skirt, so I shadow step in to let her know this isn't a good area for a girl like her to be walking alone and escort her back to base. Then we are all looking to make the greedy glad a bit sad when the smoky pokey crab claw does his dusk dash and give him the big D combo, which ends up earning us another kill. At this point my Thresh is like Velp. The bronze elo support guide says mid-game I should be getting caught out and killed alone in the jungle, so he is proceeding to follow those steps, leaving me to pissy plant into X mark the spot where Jin should fire a big boy to kill that electric rodent. Hey, you guys want to see something satisfying? Cool, now cut the scene before you watch me drop the soap in front of Kanye. I'm starting to think the cute waitress has some daddy issues, and that's why she's always walking through dangerous streets alone wearing tight clothing looking for trouble, but lucky for her I'm a respectable man and will keep sending her back to base to find her morals. Then I figure a flashy ult is in order as I throw some shit at Jerry the gerbil before jamming a bunch of buttons and trying to find where my character is on the screen. By the time I finish my quick game of Where's Waldo Zed edition, I'm in a perfect spot to snag one more kill on the Kanye. There's a heated debate in chat over if my Soraka mid is a fucking stupid ass feeding pick, and the consensus on that one is yes, absolutely, but anyways I am continuing to understand why this pick is annoying to deal with, because even though it requires some mechanical skill, you can play it at like 20% of its capacity and still pull off plays that only Azanias can counter. Side note for any shitters that are going to use me as their role model and first time Zed in their games, I learned that using your W shadow along with your ult makes it so while 2 is a party and 3 is a crowd, crowds do a hell of a lot more damage, and thus I recommend 3. Anyways, despite me showing the greatest single game mechanical improvement of an ult from start to finish ever, we still lost, and I can't tell if it was the 2 and 10 Nocturne, the Giga trolling Healy whore mid the 14 Death Jin, or Skelly Shelly rocking another 9 that made this one feel pretty unwinnable. But when I queued up for round 2, I realized this pick isn't banned because it wins a lot, it's banned because it has the ability to single someone out and completely ruin their day, so in this game I would just speed run to level 6. And then make it my personal mission to piss on this Vayne's parade. The next game I deployed a similar strategy and did succeed in killing their Kaisa 14 times, but unfortunately my coworkers were literally all rocking double-digit deaths as well, so she was proud of her performance, and my 0-3 record was contributing to the sub 45% win rate on this noob trap ninja. Game 4 would be where I put my newfound 3 games worth of feeding skills to the test. I felt like busting my alt nut too early was bending me over and cucking me too much, so I decided to hold it like a piss during the SATs in the early fights. That way, when I found myself chasing a grumpy grandpa and he randomly turned around saying "I choose you Butterfree," I would be able to do a little Freaky Friday with my shadow clone, then ult the shitter before full disclosure accidentally pulling off a clean as fuck ult play and escaping from the moth monster trying to give me a hug. I told my team's Lux if she sees the bug to put it in a cage, but she's all like ew, it starts spazzing out, so I come in all misogynistic in my super suit sighing and saying fine, I will kill the damn bug myself, which ended up giving me a surprise 8 hundo. Then I was going to take the scenic route back to the ARAM game mid when I see the knight in dying armor trying to slip out of the party early, so I shadow stepped the wall, walked up and showed him my spinny slits to get another quick kill. At this point I am now how I would say behind enemy lines, while anyone with eyeballs would say mispositioned, but it's okay because I can just draw X's on things, kill the Baus simp shitter, and then port back to shadow numero 3 to airmail a sushi roll into that dead Tristana's mouth before taking off. And you know what they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer to your shadows, so you can blink alt, throw some knives down their pie holes and port back while feeling like you actually know how to play this champ. My faker level superb Zed skills are now attracting a lot of attention as I have a whole simp posse following me asking me for autographs, so I have to find creative ways to escape them while simultaneously killing off one more orc for Mordor, because I believe the lore states that Zed was a Frodo fanboy, but don't everyone comment about that being clean at once now. Anyways, I was now doing a bunch of damage to the geriatric ward patients and getting front row seats to the Ezreal's legendary announcement party. I had 4 items, so I figured let's prove out this ban rate by ruining people's days, as I was even starting to use his ult to avoid abilities and then port back in a flashy manner to get out of shitty situations. I wanted to queef all over their nexus, but this mouth-breathing mace man was in the way, and this species is just a pain in the shadowy shithole to deal with, as I had to combo like 16 times to finally put the big baby to sleep. So despite us clearly winning the team deathmatch objective in this silver elo game, the MOBA strategy side was lacking a bit, so I was left having to defend our private property against the post-death tantruming car mechanic while pulling some more sneaky shadow swaps to kill off the gun-happy rabbit. But I knew that if I could keep 4 of them out of my base while completely taking their ADC out of the late game fights, I would finally be able to get a single victory on this super ban. I'm installing Dota.